marching. Get your arms moving a little bit too. Once you feel like you're getting a little warm, maybe drive those knees up a little bit higher, get those arms moving a little bit more. If you can't get your knees up any higher, maybe you just march a little bit faster. Good, and then kind of in the space that you have, we're gonna do some lateral walking. So sit your butt down a little bit, you're not too low, and you're just stepping, closing the gap. 3, 4, 5 steps to the side and then switch, depending on how much space you have. All right, you can shake out your legs a little bit. The next one we're gonna do some gates. So we'll start opening the gate. So you're standing nice and upright, lift one knee, open that hip, and step down. So from the side here, lift this knee up to 90 degrees, open it, pointing to the side, and down. So we'll do 3 on each leg, opening the gate. So up, open, and down. You can either do all 3 on your one leg and then switch, or you can alternate. Make sure you really get that knee up, really work that hip. And good, once you've done 3, then we're gonna close the gate. So this one, you'll start with your knee up at 90 degrees facing out, step over the gate, and end in the position we started with last time. So from the side, you start here, step over, and nice and up and straight. So again, 3 on each leg. You can either do them one at a time, or you can alternate legs. So pretend like you're stepping over something. Good. Once you've done those, we'll move our arms a little bit before we get started with the workout. Again, if you joined us a few seconds late, you don't need a whole lot today. I have some pillows here. If you have pillows, rolled up towels, blankets, something just to help prop yourself up. If you need a little help for the stretching, you can grab those. All right, for our upper body, just start with some nice little arm circles going forward. Nice and small to start. We'll gradually get bigger here. Good, and a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger, not quite full big circles yet, but close. And nice big circles, as far up as you can reach. Good, and everyone do one more, and then we'll reverse those. So starting small again, reverse direction. Good, and a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, not quite full circles yet. And there we go, nice and big as you can make them. Reverse circles. And we'll stop in 3, 2, 1, good. All right, you can shake it out. You can grab some water if you'd like. I will let you know for this workout, we're actually gonna start on the ground nice and low, and we're gonna work our way up to standing. So everything that we do to start will be nice and on the ground. All right, I'll give you a few seconds. Let that heart rate come back a little bit, grab some water, find a little bit of space on the ground. Again, I have these pillows here. You won't need them for every exercise. If you don't have them, it's not going to deter you from doing any of them. All right, so the first one we're going to do is a nice hip press. So you're going to be flat on your back, knees bent. You're going to push through your heels, lift your butt, try to keep it all in line here. So you don't need to start yet, but that's what we're going to do. So you're here, hands flat on the ground, knees bent, and then you're going to push through your heels, really push those hips up towards the ceiling and hold, squeeze those glutes. And we'll do that for 30 seconds. So everyone kind of find your spot if you have some room on the ground. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, up. As with any of these exercises today, if you get partway through and it's too hard, just stop, take a little break. If you're feeling like you can jump back in, just jump back in and finish with us. And 3, 2, 1, down. Good. All right, and actually you can stay laying. Like I said, we're going to start on the ground and work our way up. So this next one, you can stay laying. This is one where you might want some pillows, some towels, anything you have around you, just in case you can't quite get your legs all the way to the floor. But I'll show you, and then I'll show you what you do if you want or need a pillow. So we're actually going to do a laying butterfly stretch. So you know what a butterfly stretch is, but we're going to actually be laying down. Legs are here, so from the side, I'm just starting a butterfly stretch, and then you're gonna lay down. So as you can see, my knees are not touching the ground. If this hurts, you just prop them up on a pillow, so you can still get a stretch. They're still falling, but they aren't pulling to the ground. So with this one, same thing, try to keep your back on the ground the whole time. So if you're really pushing and arching your back, you might need these pillows to help you relax a little bit. So find a position that's right for you, and we'll get started in a few seconds. You can also move your feet in or out, wherever it's comfortable for you for this one. Just a nice little stretch. If you need to push a little bit on your legs, you can. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. You can have your hands at the side, on your belly, under your back to make sure that it's not arching too much. And just really focus on controlling your breathing. Maybe every few seconds you see if you can relax and let those legs drop closer to the ground. And 3, 2, 1, good, good. You can stretch those legs out a little bit. I know some of that pulling after a while can hurt a little bit. The next group of exercises we're going to do, you can do from a seated position, but you can stay on the ground. All right. Looks like most of us are ready. So again, from a seated position, I'm just going to prop my leg up on my foot. So if you can see that, have one foot here. This leg is kind of bent. Have my foot up on it so it's not sitting on the ground. If you have a pillow, you can use that as well, just so your foot is a few inches off the ground. Leg is kind of straight out. It can have a little bend if you want. And we're just going to do 5 circles with our ankle, nice and slow. You choose which direction you want to go first. We'll go both ways. So if you can see that from the front, my foot is here. And I'm just doing 5 circles with my ankle. Really try to reach, especially side to side. Reach when you point forward, reach when you pull it back towards you. And once you've done 5 one way, you can switch directions. And once you've done 5 on both directions on that first leg, you can switch legs right away on your own pace. And same thing, just pick a direction to start, really reach each way that you go, really try to stretch it a little bit. And we're going 5 circles one direction. And then when you're ready, you can go 5 the other direction. Good, nice and slow, waking up that ankle, giving you some stretch in those lower legs. Good. And once you've done those, you can shake out your feet a little bit. We're gonna stay sitting for this next one still, so you can stay right where you're at. All right, this next one I'm gonna show you from a front view and a side view, just so you can kind of see, because I will be going behind my body, but we're gonna do some leg reaches. So from the front, you're just sitting nice and upright. We're gonna do one leg at a time. So this leg can either be just however it's comfortable for you. I just like to keep it out in front of me. This is my working leg, so I'm gonna reach forward and then reach back. So some of you won't want to keep your leg here. Might actually be more comfortable to have it back this way. Might be comfortable to have it in here. So find what's right for you. Again, you're reaching straight forward and as far back as you can. So from the side, I'm here, reaching forward, reaching back. So I'm trying to reach it straight back. I know we can't all put our legs straight back, as far as you can, and then back to the front. You can try to do this with your hands up off the ground if you want a little bit of a challenge, but we're gonna do 5 of those on each leg, okay? So again, just sitting, whichever leg you wanna start with. Other one is just resting comfortably, reaching forward, reaching back, and then start over. So 5 on each leg. If you need to put your hands on the ground, that's totally okay for this one. Just if you're looking for a challenge, you can get them up off the ground. And once you've done 5 on your first leg, you can jump right into the other leg. So again, reaching till it's straight forward, reaching back as far as you can. Hands can be on the ground. If that's too easy, keep those hands up. Going back, you probably won't be able to get your leg completely straight. That's okay. Good job, everyone. In between, if anything starts to cramp up or get tight on you, feel free, grab a stretch in between, grab some water, do what you need to do. All right. We're still gonna stay kind of seated. We're gonna stay nice and low to the ground. You can start from a seated position for this one though. So we're gonna get a nice groin stretch. So you're gonna start, and you can actually do this one just up on this one knee. So kind of like you would do standing, but you're gonna do it from a knee. If you need to prop yourself up, so your butt is off your knee, or you can sit back on your heel. So you're here, getting a nice stretch, should be on the inside of your upper leg. Try to reach this leg out nice and straight. If you need a little bit different stretch, as you can see, lift your toe, And we'll just hold here. Again, you can try it sitting on your heel. You can stand up, whatever feels right for you, toe down, toe up, but you should feel stretch right in here. Really try to keep that core engaged, stay nice and upright if you can. If you're sitting down, same thing, you can be down, but keep this core nice and upright. And good, let's switch sides. So if you are sitting back on your first leg and you don't feel like you can do that on this one, that's okay. Don't have to do everything exactly the same on both sides. So find what's right for you. And we'll get started again. Trying to keep shoulders to hips upright, whether you're sitting down or up a little bit. And again, you can lift this toe if you like that different stretch. If not, just keep it nice and flat. But again, keeping this leg in a nice straight line. And 3, 2, 1, good. All right, I will say for this next one, again, if you have a pillow or a towel or something, you might want it. You only need one because we're gonna go one side and then we'll go to the other. If you don't have one, that's okay. So I'll show you with and without. I'll show you from the front and from the side so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'll show you from the side first, actually. So knees are up, bent. They're pretty close together, if not touching. And then you can either be, oops, I'll back up a little bit. Either have your hands on the ground or your forearms. And again, knees are up and bent. And then you're just gonna drop them to one side. Okay, you'll feel a little tiny stretch in your lower back. So make sure you're not turning your whole body. We're trying to keep our torso relatively upright, nice and forward, just dropping these knees. So for this one, if you need a pillow here, if that helps, you can have that. So from the front, same thing. I'm sitting, my knees are at a nice bend here. They're pretty close. My feet are pretty close to my butt. Pillow here if you want it. So you can be up on your hands, like I said, or down on your forearms. And then you just drop those knees to the side. As you can see, my chest is staying here. It's not turning with my knees. So find what's right for you. Get a pillow if you need to. And we'll just sit and hold one side, and I'll let you know when we're gonna switch. And good, let's switch sides. And once you get situated, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. And good, you can sit up. Okay, the next couple that we're gonna do, you're gonna do from your hands and knees. So find a good spot for you. Same thing with this one, I'll show you from the front and from the side. So you're actually gonna start on your hands and knees. You're gonna lift one arm up and just rest your hand behind your ear, and my elbow is out nice and straight. You're gonna come down, nice reach, touch that elbow to this wrist. And then as you come up, you're gonna open way up to the sky with this elbow. And then nice and slow back down. And then a nice reach. Really make sure you keep those knees on the ground. You're not turning your whole body, just your upper body, really stretching in that back. So we're gonna do 5 of those on each side. If you can't reach your elbow all the way to your wrist, maybe to the inside of your elbow and back up. Really focus on this one. When you reach up, try to get that elbow up as high as you can. Don't force it until it's painful, but a nice reach. And once you've done one side, you can move right on to the other side. Again, we're here. Touch that wrist and open up that elbow. And we're doing 5, and they're nice and slow. Really make sure at the top you get a good stretch. All right, nicely done. Keep it going. Make sure you finish those 5 on each side. Take your time. Good. And like I said, we're gonna do the next couple from our hands and knees, so you can kind of stay down where you are if you'd like. Grab some water if you need to. Okay, it looks like most of us are ready. So the next one we're gonna do, you've probably done it, especially if you've been here on Friday mornings for yoga. We're just gonna do cat-cow. So with this, again, starting on your hands and knees, cat, as you inhale, really stretch that back, really reach, inhale, and then exhale, drop the hips, look up, and then repeat. So again, from the front, we're gonna inhale, and then exhale, nice and slow, drop those hips, drop that back. So we'll do that for about 30 seconds at your own pace, but try to go nice and slow, and go ahead, really focus on that breathing. All right, I run through one more rotation and then we'll stop. Good. And if you're really feeling it, that feels great. Do a couple more. We'll give you a few seconds before we move on. Good. And we'll kind of stay in the same position still. We're going to stay on our hands and knees. This one, we're going to do a little bit of hip mobility. So starting on my hands and knees, this outside leg far away from you is going to stay down. This one closest to you is going to do the work. So we're really trying to keep our hips nice and aligned here. We're not opening our body. Keep your hips nice and level. And we're going to lift this one, and we're going to do a nice big circle. So from the front, you're here, a nice big circle, just like when we do our shoulders, nice and big. So with your hip, good reach up as far as you can and back down. So we'll do 3 going forward and then 3 going backward. So again, nice and slow, really get through that range of motion in your hip. You can do a little pause at the bottom if you need a break in between. Once you've done 3 forward, you can do 3 backward. And once you've done those, you can switch legs right away. So again, when you keep this one knee on the ground, make sure that you keep those hips nice and aligned, nice and even. And once you've done 3 forward on the second leg, you can go ahead and reverse them. And you can actually stay in that position if you're able to, if you can kind of stay on your hands and knees and just kind of peek at the camera. We're going to work those hips a little bit more. So this one I'll show you from the front. So you're going back to the first leg. You're here. You lift that one and going straight out, almost even with your hip if you can, and then back down. So from the side, I'm here. I'm going to lift it, point that knee out to the side, and back down. You'll feel a nice pinch in here. So if you can only go this high, that's okay. You don't need to get up even with your hip. If you can only go this high, again, that's okay. Let's do 3 on each side. So a little pause at the top and back down. Just a 1 second pause at the top. You can do 3 on one side and then switch sides. This is one where you might notice one hip, you feel it a little bit more than the other one, that's okay. All right, last one we're doing from this nice tabletop position here. Next one, we're back to those arms. So you're up in tabletop, you're gonna take one arm and you're gonna reach behind this arm and reach as far as you can over here and back up. Reach as far as you can. So you drop this shoulder a tiny bit, really reaching. As you can see, this shoulder's coming almost under my chest, reaching as far as I can and back up. Let's do 5 of those on this side and then go ahead and switch. Maybe each time you try to reach a tiny bit further. Once you've done one side, you can go ahead and go to the other side. You can drop those hips a little bit so you get a little extra reach. You can drop the shoulder a little bit. And again, we're going behind the arm that's holding us up. Nicely done. All right, I'm gonna adjust my camera a tiny bit so you can see this next one better. All right, we're all the way up onto our feet now, everyone. I know, we got to stay nice and low to the ground. We'll do 1 or 2 up here, and then we'll do a little cool down. All right, so this first one, you're gonna grab your hands together, nice reach. As you can see from the side, little arch in the back, really stretch back a little bit. Hold that for 5 seconds on your own. And then you're gonna come down, reach for your toes. If you're like me, you won't be able to reach your toes, you can reach for your shins. Hold for 5 seconds, you'll get a nice stretch back here. Once you've held for 5 seconds, hands together again. Reach up, reach it back a little bit. As you can see, a little arch in my back. 5 seconds, and then you can go back down. Let's do 5 of those. So 5 seconds up, good hold, and then 5 seconds down. Make sure you're moving nice and slow. Don't need to pull anything, tweak anything. A good stretch here. If you need to, reach up to the sky. If you need a little pull on your shoulders. And this is my last one. I will wait for you. So if you have a couple more to do, take your time. Again, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. And when you're done, you can grab water, you can stay standing. You can walk it out a little bit if you're ready for that. We got one more, and then we'll do a cool down. All right, we're gonna end with a little bit of a burn here, so I apologize, but not really. So we're actually just gonna go down in a nice deep squat. Try to keep your arms and elbows off of your knees. So if you need to spread your feet a little bit more and keep your elbows inside, we're just gonna sit and hold that. So I'll get started in about 5 seconds. So you can go as deep as you want. And we're just gonna hold in 3, 2, 1, get that butt close to the ground without touching. If you want to put your arms out, you can do that. If you're really feeling it, arms can go up. Try to keep them off your knees. If you do need a little rest, rest your arms there. Get a really nice deep stretch in those hips. If you can't go the full time, please don't push yourself through pain. Just stand up, sit down, whatever you need to do. We'll go about 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, good. All right, everyone, you can stand up, you can move those hips around if you need to, you can sit down, whatever you'd like. Our first cool down exercise can be done standing or sitting, so you can kind of decide for yourself. I'm going to do it from sitting. I know that one of our other ones we're going to do from a seated position. So all right, so first one, I'm going to put my arms up. I'm going to grab one wrist and I'm going to pull to that side. Make sure you actually grab the wrist. You'll feel it somewhere along the side, depending on where your body needs it. If you need to pull back a little bit to feel it, you can do that. If you need to pull forward a little bit, whatever your body needs. And good, you can shake it out. When you're ready, you can grab your other wrist, same thing. Might feel the same stretch, you might need to pull it a different direction to feel different stretch on this side. And good. Shake those arms out. I'm sure they're tired. I'm sure they're feeling it. All right. Last one. We're going to do, you start laying on your back. And if you've been here with me before, you've done this one before. So I'm going to take this leg up. I'm going to cross it, ankle resting on this outside knee. And I'm going to lift this leg up. You can either grab behind your upper leg, or you can grab your shin. Just a nice pull. Feel a nice stretch in here. Some of you won't need to pull. Just having this leg up here is a good stretch. That's okay. We'll hold this for a few seconds. And good, now we're gonna lift this foot to the sky. If you can pull your toes towards you, you might get a little bit different stretch. Otherwise, just lifting that foot to the sky. Trying to get it nice and straight here. As you can see, I have a little bend behind my knee, that's okay. And back down, and you can switch legs. So other leg coming up, over, ankle, outside of your ankle is on top of this knee here. And then we're gonna lift this leg, either grabbing behind our leg or grabbing our shin, giving it just a little pull, helping you get a little deeper stretch. And then we're gonna lift this leg up to the sky. Again, you can either keep that toe up or you can pull it towards you. Some of you might like one of the stretches better than the other. And good, you can put that back down. And since I kind of hit several different body parts today, I will let you finish stretching on your own. So whatever you need to stretch. But thank you for coming. I like doing these Friday morning ones. Gives me a little bit different type of workout to bring to you. Next workout is tomorrow, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I have to say that now because I'm back home in Wisconsin, so it's different time zone for me. But again, tomorrow, 10 a.m., we have a workout, start your weekend right. And then as you may or may not have seen, our schedule is changing after this week. So check out the website for the, check on the calendar. We have a new schedule. Same days and times, but a couple days we had to scale back on. But again, thank you. We'll stop the recording. So if you have any questions or anything, you can stay on and chat. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Jen. I'll just add one more thing for the recording. Just to echo what you said with our website, our times for next week and the next couple months we'll have workouts at Monday at 5:30. We'll have workouts Thursday at 9:30 and Saturday at 10 a.m. So 3 workouts a week. And we'll get started next week with a couple of familiar faces, Isaac, myself, and a couple of new team members that are joining us. So we're excited to keep up and moving going during the pandemic and beyond. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, and also Jenna, we have a TV workout this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern on CBC. So I know you're in that, and thank you for doing the live workouts here and the recorded ones for those watching on TV that might not have internet access. So
yeah, thank you.